What is your least favorite Animal Crossing theme? Well, today I'm going to show you mine as I attempt to decorate with them. This is my island of Chunk, and if you missed the first episode, this is a multi-themed island where I am attempting to make every single tile a different theme. It is essentially the ultimate Animal Crossing decorating challenge. If you want to see more of this, don't forget to like and also subscribe as I am uploading a brand new episode every single week. But without further ado, let's get to the decorating, and don't forget to tell me what your least favorite Animal Crossing theme is in the comments. Traditional bright coloured kidcore isn't really one that is a theme for me. There are so many people out there that do an amazing job at this theme. However, I have always struggled with it. I did try and do kind of a bit of a pastel kidcore, which just turned out to be a very pink island, but it's still kind of cute in its own way. So this time I'm gonna try my hand at traditional kidcore and kind of rip that band-aid off. This is my very first attempt at ever doing this theme. So here we are, this is what the chunk looks like. As you can see, it is directly behind resident services, which I think does make things a little bit more complicated. Normally when I'm doing my builds near to resident services, I like to use a lot of terraforming, give it some height. So I thought that these fences might work nicely. Not only do they give it that kind of height, they also add a pop of color, which is quite nice. Are they the kind of traditional kidcore colors? No, but I did think that they might just add something a bit different. Do they stay here? Well, you'll just have to watch and find out. But yes, after putting down my fences and making sure they were in the right placement, I decided to add in some dirt. So for this little chunk, I decided what screams kidcore. Obviously, it's got to be a park. So in order to get a fun little park coming together, I decided to add down the in-game dirt path and just make a nice sized playground. And then because of it being kidcore, obviously I can always go in later and add in some fun custom designs, maybe some chalk, maybe a juice box or two. So once I had done and kind of marked out my square area, it's not a square, it's definitely a rectangle. But once I had done that, I decided to add in some filler just for this space between the fences and the park itself. Obviously, color for the flowers for this island had to be red, yellow and blue. And I do also have some fun little items. So we have the tulip surprise box. I love this item, it's a great one. The kind of cutout standees, not cutout standees, that's something very different. The tree standees, the bush standees and the grass standees have also grown on me over the years. I kind of find myself using them for other themes, more kind of less conventional themes, but they definitely 100% work for kidcore. I love them for kidcore. So there we go, there is kind of our little segment. It's a lot fuller there. I am also adding in bushes, as you can see, but yeah, I think this whole color palette kind of really works. I'm not normally a red fan, just controversially, it's not my favorite color in the world, but I do think that this is kind of working well. For the fencing, I wanted to keep up with that color palette, so I had two options. We had the park fence or the steel fence. Obviously, the steel fence has the advantage of you being able to kind of get things that much closer together. Despite that, I did decide to go for the park fences just because I think they were just a tad bit brighter and I did have more of them. So they were very easy to kind of put down. That does not mean to say that I did not kind of struggle with getting the placement right. I don't know what it is, my brain was just not braining, and I also did decide to make the area bigger. I do realize that I'm encroaching on anything else I wanted to do in this space because of how big I'm making the park. However, I do think that we're going to need it because there's some quite big furniture pieces that I want to include in this park area. So it is coming together. I just felt like I was having a struggle with making the fence kind of line up right. I don't know what happened, but in order to kind of solve my issue, I decided that maybe if you leave kind of the end pieces empty and then add in a little topiary thing, just add in some greenery as well, just to break things up. But yeah, this still caused me a headache. I don't know why it was such a struggle. It shouldn't be that hard. All you have to do is put blue, red, yellow. Blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow. There we have it though. That is all done. So next things next is adding in those fun custom designs. So I found some trash designs. Not necessarily something that screams kidcore, but I think this could be quite versatile. And I think there were some little drawings with it as well. So at the back of the park, I thought it might be nice to make like a little picnic come seating area. So I have this lovely green kind of gingham pattern, which again, probably doesn't really go with the red, blue and yellow theme, but I just thought it'd be nice to have there. It's a nice color. It's kind of almost primary color, and I never use these furniture items really, so I thought it would be fun to kind of incorporate them as well. I think I might have used them in the festival trunk that we did last video, but they're back again and they have fun colors, so that's always a bonus when we're doing this kind of theme. So for the playground itself, obviously we need the play gym, I think that's what it's called. Here we would call it a climbing frame, because that's literally what it is, a frame that you climb on. And then we have the springy ride-ons, which again are a must. A lot of these toys are just staples that you would see at a park, so anything that in the game that kind of screams toys, play, I'm gonna have it. I tried to move the slide around. Was it working? No. But apparently we left it there anyway. I thought it was a little bit too tight. It's kind of working. Just don't bump into the tire on your way down. That could be a little bit painful. So coming out of the park, we need a little pathway so that it can lead off into the next trunk itself. I did not plan this one out very well at all. I didn't do a path leading out the back of it, so it is literally one way in, one way out, and it might be a bit of a struggle to get around. I also went in with a lot of bunny rabbits for this trunk. Don't know where that came from. Maybe kids, bunny rabbits, it's all kind of in the same kind of genre, I guess. Not really at all, but hey. And then we need some more flowers as well, as you can see, more cut out standees too, just to really fill out the area surrounding the kind of picnic spot itself. This probably isn't that exciting to kind of see, but maybe it will give you some hints as to how I place things down. Always remember, when you're doing this, if you're placing a lot of flowers down, highly recommend using the transparent custom code design. I'm sure you all know about it by now. It's been absolute years, but I cannot recommend it enough. It's so important. And then just round the back here, I did keep Mickey a boo-boo because there just wasn't enough space. And also I was getting to the point where I was struggling with like finding the right colors and things. But in the end, I decided we're just going to kind of embrace everything and just chuck them down wherever, whenever we can. I don't think it really matters. It's a park. It's supposed to be overgrown, right? So now time to decorate our picnic blanket. On this day, I finally unlocked Able Sisters and being able to get their custom designs. So that blue one is one of their custom designs. Don't know why I chose the blue, maybe just to break up because we've got red, blue, yellow, all sorts going on. And then obviously snacks. At this point, the fences did come down. Whoever said that they did, you are 100% right. I just wasn't feeling the colors. It didn't really feel cohesive. I know this island isn't going to be cohesive, but where I can help it, I will try and make it as cohesive as possible. So here is the fence I decided to go with. It is a hedge. So I'm going to give you an overview as to what this looks like now. Here is a quick snapshot at kidcore. It wasn't my favorite. Let me know what you think about it. So on to our fifth theme of this island, and this one is going to be something that I have struggled with forever, and that is because it is quite a structured theme. Everything you kind of have to plan out, make sure that you get the path down in the right place. It is town core. This is very similar to city core. I don't know if we're going to do city core in this island, but town core we're definitely going to give a try, and I'm going to incorporate my Able Sisters and Nooks Cranny as well. I have to be real with you, when I said I struggled with this one, I really struggled. So I spent ages mapping out this whole area. As you can see, I moved in my Able Sisters, I moved in my Nooks Cranny. I thought I had it all structured. I thought I had it down. However, I revisited it after a while and realized how much I did not like it. It just felt kind of too open. There was this weird line that didn't really marry in with anything. So I came back and I absolutely demolished it and went back in with a whole new layout. Kind of a whole new layout. I left Able Sisters and Nooks where it was, but just adjusted some of the paths. So the bit down the front was more kind of whole, and then we had the fountain in the middle. This did still leave kind of an odd shape because I really wanted the fountain to be in the middle and then it line up really nicely with the road leading to the other chunk. And I cannot tell you how annoyed I was with myself for this and not kind of measuring things properly. But I did in the end make the best out of a bad situation. For now, whilst you're watching this section, I was still not sure what I was going to do. In fact, I'm not even sure I was aware that they weren't actually the same amount of tiles. But I just was kind of rolling with it, and I thought in my head I can make a really nice centerpiece with this was the point. That was the very point where I realized. And then I kind of debated what I was going to do, and then I moved forward a day and was like, no, we're just going to accept it. It's Animal Crossing. No one's going to get out a tape measure and measure it. So for now, this is what I was going forward. I was just going to have two separate pieces, either side, like nice town seating open areas, and this lovely pond in the center with some flowers, some topiaries. I don't really tend to do kind of like elegant pieces like this because most of my islands are natural. Obviously, we had to get interrupted by Rizzo, who actually, I'm not mad when villagers interrupt me if it is just for a reaction, because I like to get those reactions. Do I use them all the time? No, but they are great for video intros. Anyway, back to kind of my fountain section. I kind of went a bit rogue. This was all looking quite pale, so I decided to kind of mix up the colors, add in some brown of all colors with the kind of floating biome planters. They are such a good item piece. And then I used the rope partitions, but things were still looking not quite right. So on the corners, I added in some round street lights. I really haven't seen how this would look at night. Maybe I should, because I think there's going to be quite a lot of street lights around. And then in between the lights and the rope partitions, just to keep things interesting, I went in with some kind of fence. Everything is still very white, and that's why I decided to go for the iron bench and also that white furniture, that white fencing even. But I'm feeling it. I enjoy kind of neutral colors. I know I could have probably gone for a more colorful town, but kind of all the grays and the whites and the creams do remind me of towns. So I'm not mad at it for now. Yeah, this is so frustrating. I wish it kind of... I don't know why it's like this, maybe because of the size of the chunk perhaps. But yeah, this is, if you can't tell, this is 5 wide, I think, and this is only 4 wide. And it then got annoying because the villagers were also in the way, which is just typical. So off I went back, and hopefully, yes, they're gone now. So now I can place the fence down. That Rizzo, I know I was grateful for you giving me a reaction, but I'm not grateful when you get in my way when I'm trying to decorate. Yeah, I have for some bits just to pop down in front of Nooks. As you can see, we're just going for like delivery, and I thought the gazebo, even though this probably isn't functional for driving through, would be a nice centerpiece here. So here is me attempting to fix this area, and this is what I came up with. I decided we're not going to do a seating area, we are going to do a car park, which is very much on brand with a town. Of course you have car parks, so it makes perfect sense. That is a retro gas pump, but in my head it is more of like a parking meter, so you can like go and pay for your ticket and whatnot. And then these Nook Miles tickets are either like parking fines that people have received and thrown them up on the ground, or like abandoned parking tickets. So back over to this side, I did have a bit of a debate as to what to do here. I thought about putting a stool here, but I'll show you why I didn't in the next chunk, as that's very nearby and you can probably just about see it, but I will tell you why I didn't in that one. And also just messing around with deciding what I was going to decorate with on the edging, just to make it feel a bit more exciting, because just having like one little thing on the end is just not going to cut it. In the end, as you can see, I went for the round topiary. the height on that is just amazing. So it's a good one for like centerpieces and also like putting on corners just to add some detail. And for this bit, I was like, I'm just going to throw down some items that kind of speak to me, like town. So I'm thinking someone's gone for a dog walk, there's a pushchair, maybe someone's reading a book, and there's also a fire hydrant, which, fun fact, we do not have in the UK. And I don't, if anywhere in the world has yellow fire hydrants, I'll be very interested. Anyway, we're nearly there now. I am just wrapping up, kind of putting some fences in. I'm much happier with this design than I was with the last one. It feels more cluttered, and I'm just all about that. Obviously, we love a good bit of clutter, and I think it still feels quite towny. There isn't a lot of space because of Nook's Cranny, but it is what it is. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so I may have lied to you about the next thing we are going to do. It's not really an island theme, and B, I don't really mind this build. So I think we're just going to slot it in here because it's quite a small one. This is trains. So here we are outside the front of resident services. I said trains, but it's obviously a train station that I'm going to try and do out the front here. Is it a bit weird that I'm doing a train station right next to an airport? Perhaps, but who cares? I'm sure there are train stations near airports all the time, and I just wasn't sure what to do with this space. As you can see, you can kind of see where the next chunk over kind of ends, so it's really not a big space at all, but I didn't want to kind of ignore it because I feel like that would have been a bit of a cop out, so we had to do something with it. So I decided to go in with the train station idea. Really easy to do, really simple to achieve, and all I had to do was find this track code online. It's such a nice track code. I think it's really nice and brown. It's also really detailed, which I appreciate. I loved designs that are really overly detailed, so that's always good. So I'm gonna make like a tunnel, a fake tunnel, using the cave that I've just put down on the right side, and then I'm gonna put one over on the left side as well, so it kind of gives the illusion that the trains are traveling in and out of the tunnels. I mean, they're probably gonna have to go deep underground, but hey, we won't think about that too much. And then over here, I had to just adjust the size of the platform area, just so it kind of fitted a little bit better. Initially, I went in with the kind of dirt path because I wasn't really thinking about how this would look underneath and how I was going to kind of overlay the in-game codes and then the custom designs on top. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone in with the dirt. I think this color tone, the kind of brick or like tile design, is a lot better, and instead of seeing dirt sticking through between the different custom designs, you would actually see the grey, which I think will just fit a little bit better. So did I just waste all of my time doing that and having to re-go over it and place down lots more custom designs? Yes I did, but hopefully it will be worth it in the end. So here is when I've done all of the kind of in-game paths first of all, and now I'm just layering in my custom designs of choice. I really am trying to be so versatile, and these kind of worked really well. And also it might help things flow from the town core section into this section. So I've done the tiles on the outer side and then just in with this just to create the kind of platforms. It doesn't necessarily look like the platforms we have here in the UK, but it is what it is. And then I had a hard choice picking between the two trains. These were kind of my most favorite ones. In the end, I did go for the green. Was that obvious? Not at all. And then back here, I thought, what do you have at a train station? Obviously, you have somewhere where you can buy coffee, somewhere where you can buy newspaper. So we just put down some stools and also some flower beds as well. Obviously, antique cash registers are an absolute must. They are one of my favorite kind of cash register related items. Who thought that I would be having opinions on cash registers in a decorating game in 2025? But it is what it is. And then to match the train, we've obviously got the mine cars, a green bench. We're trying to really go heavy on the green here. And obviously a rover's briefcase. That is just an absolute must. Everyone waiting at the train station with their suitcases, which actually, ironically, is going to be me tomorrow as I am going home to see my parents for a little while before Christmas. And boy, my suitcase is so heavy. So heavy. It's filled with presents. There is like a little tiny quarter for me to put my clothes in. Luckily, I'm only going away for like 3 days, so hopefully that should be enough space. We shall see. But it is going to be very heavy. I was still having a crisis, maybe not crisis, a dilemma about kind of what color to go for the train. I don't know why I changed it out to blue and then we changed out the mine carts. I was just all over the place for this. I was second guessing myself so hard. But yeah, we did bring the green back. I think there was around this point when I realized that the trains actually rock back and forth. I had no clue prior to doing this build, but now I know. I tried bringing the retro transportation stops. I don't know what I was thinking. If I'm totally honest, don't know what I was thinking. I could have gone for like a nice, elegant train station. Instead, I decided to add in these metal seating areas, which I kind of get it. Like, I do feel like they would have stuff like this in a train station, but I want a nice, fancy train station, not kind of a rough around the edges train station. So instead, we're going to add in flower beds and be pretty. It's such an awkward space, and I think that's why I struggled so much. But trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Yes, were my flower beds originally different colors from the ones at the front? Yes, they were. But we got there, we fixed it. And I've just realized I haven't addressed why Molly is currently staring at you in the bottom corner. It was from a stream, and I'm not sure why we were obsessed with Molly that day, but apparently we were. So she was there for the whole duration of the stream, hence why she is watching me decorate a train station. And now she's watching you. Well, I think she's giving you a wave, so there you go. Anyway, we are nearly at the train station, or the train has nearly arrived at the station, and I'll show you what the final product of this looked like. So there we have it. There are 3 more kind of themes done, and I'm kind of glad to get kidcore out of the way. I think the next thing that I need to work on is my seasonal chunks. So that will be Christmas, summer, sprinkle, and of course autumn. So stay tuned for that coming next week. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.